All right, we're live. Put the phone down, Rusty.
Yeah, that snuck up on us.
Yeah. Put the phone down, buddy. So, how you doing, brother?
All right, man. Good morning to you, sir.
Morning, everybody. We had a big day yesterday, and I'm pretty wiped out. My knees did not want to work this morning, so we're taking it easy and on coffee and chat. So, pour yourself one. Cheers. So, what's going on, bud?
Well, not much. I'm just glad to finally be home from my week of training down in Greenville. I was out for a whole week, and it's just good to be back.
Well, it's a good morning to be sitting on the back porch.
Oh, it is.
Really enjoying the trees and actually appreciate the kudzu because it's kind of blocking some of the road noise. And so if it does get a little loud and hard to hear, we're outside. We're using a laptop microphone, so birds are chirping. They've been ripping all morning. So, what culinary experience did you have while you were in Greenville?
One thing I learned in my last training class last month is I really enjoy Peruvian food. Never had it in my life until
Peruvian.
Yeah, food from Peru.
Yeah.
And there's this restaurant in Greenville. It's called Viva Chicken. And it was just our instructor in my last training class last month. We all just got in his car. He just said, he asked, do y'all like Peruvian food? Nobody had ever had it before. He said, you know what? He said, I got a great place I'm going to take y'all to. And so we were in his car. So he just drove us to this place. And I went there again this week, and I took a couple guys that had never had it before. But I don't know, something about the spice blend that they use. It's just phenomenal. Now,
is that more curry or
no? It's
herbs. Okay.
And the place is a rotisserie chicken restaurant. That's all I saw. And so you can go in, you can order a quarter or a half or a whole chicken. And I got a half chicken, last time and this time. I swear they get their chicken from the same distributor that Popeyes does, because the pieces of chicken are so freaking tiny.
They're the micro chicken.
I mean, yeah. And
it's
like
chicks.
And Popeyes fried chicken, they've got little teeny tiny pieces of chicken too. But it was just phenomenal. And I get the dark meat. I don't really care for breast. I love wings, but I get the dark meat. And the seasoning on their skin was just perfect. The tenderness of the meat, but they give you a whole selection of sides to pick from, because you got your two sides with your meat. And last time I got their rice. They have a fried rice with the Peruvian spices in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what else I got, but this time I just got double rice, because their spice blend in their rice, I mean, to me, it's better than just about any Mexican fried rice I've ever had.
Really?
I mean, it was just phenomenal.
Do they use coconut water in it, in the rice?
I have no idea. But I mean, the food is just phenomenal. It's a little on the expensive side, I think. I think it is because of the size of the chicken. I mean, it was $16 for half a chicken with two sides of rice. You think that's a pretty good price. But whenever you get your chicken and it's like the drumettes off of a wing instead of a chicken leg, I mean, it was a little disappointing of the size, but man, the flavor is just incredible.
Okay. And
then my last day there, I stopped at Longhorn, got me a nice 22-ounce porterhouse with some fried Brussels sprouts. Their Brussels sprouts, they had some type of a honey, garlic, herb butter that they were cooked in and drizzled and then sprinkled Parmesan on the top.
Yep.
I mean, it was phenomenal.
Yep. I have found, as I've gotten older, the fondness for Brussels sprouts. My wife was always a big Brussels sprout fan, but I always find that when I buy them, I have to I always buy them fresh. I don't get the frozen ones. Mainly because that was used to be the only way I could eat them, but the root part of it, the eye or whatever, that was always so bitter. So I have to buy the fresh, cut that root off, and then have them and then roast them. And once I roast them, we put like a balsamic vinegar or some sort of glaze over top of it, roast them up.
Well, this was actually cooked in a little cast iron skillet, and there was some type of a honey, butter, garlic, mixture that they did, and sprinkled Parmesan on top. And I mean, it was just phenomenal.
Did they have like a wood fire oven?
I don't know. Didn't go look in their kitchen.
Well, I didn't know if they had it like to where you could kind of look and see.
And where I was sitting at, I couldn't have seen that anyway.
Okay.
And I didn't even think about it. I didn't care how they cooked it. It was just good.
Yeah. Well, like, sometimes some places will have it to where you can kind of see it.
Right.
And then, like the rotisserie chickens, when you go through like Sam's or Costco, they're right there. So I didn't know if maybe they had a wood fire oven, because that'd be a quick way to put your sprouts in the skillet, throw it in there, turn it every couple minutes, and then pull it out and it's done. If you're cooking it, say 800 degrees or whatever.
Well, Longhorn Steakhouse used to be one of my clients, so I've been in their kitchens many times working on their equipment, and I've never seen a wood-fired oven inside a Longhorn.
Yep, right.
So if they have that, that's something they've added, and I just find it weird that they would
I meant the Peruvian, not...
Oh!
I meant the Peruvian, not Longhorn. I know Longhorn doesn't. They have a range, and that's about it.
Well, at the Peruvian, if you're in front of the counter, their whole kitchen area is wide open, just like you go into any, like Burger King or something. You can see the people that are making your sandwiches and stuff. Okay. So I could see the people in the line, and I could see that they had their bins on this, in their prep table area where they can get the stuff, but I could not see how it was prepared before it was dropped to their prep table for the employees to dish out.
Okay, that's where I was talking about the oven kind of thing. But I know Longhorn, they have a range and an oven.
Yeah, and they got a salamander.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my wife actually cooked. What night was it? Wednesday night. So we, Keto Mike had a massive headache, and we decided to cancel the show. And I come in, and the wife said, "Well, I've got dinner on the way." I was like, "Well, what do you got?" Because I was going to make my shrimp and faux ribs.
Right.
And they ordered KFC. Dang it. I haven't had KFC in I don't know how long. I think I've had it once since we've been here. Moved here.
Wow.
Like we just don't do fried chicken. And so I had a wing and a thigh out of that. And coleslaw. And a couple biscuits. And that was pretty much dinner. Then she made green beans for the side. But yeah, that was our big culinary experience for the week.
Yeah, I haven't eaten at KFC since COVID, because when I go to KFC, I always got the buffet, and they closed the buffets down during COVID. They're supposed to be bringing them back in August this year. But so it's been several years since I've been at a KFC, because it's just so expensive.
Yeah.
And so whenever we do fried chicken all the time. I mean, our family just loves fried chicken. But we go to Harris Teeter or Food Line to a grocery store, because you can get you an 8-piece bucket for $7 instead of going to Bojangles or KFC and having to pay $20 for an 8-piece bucket.
Yeah. I'd rather just cook it. I don't really particularly care for fried chicken.
Fried chicken is one of my favorite ways to eat it. I don't cook it that much because it's just so not really labor intensive, but there's so many steps, and it's so, you make your dredge, and you got to make your batter and the dipping and stuff, and dropping it in my cast iron fryer. I've got a little, about half an inch or so trivet that goes into the bottom, so I can keep my chicken from touching the bottom of the pan. And it's just so much grease is needed to submerge the chicken.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just To me, it's just so much easier just to go ahead and get it already cooked.
Morning, Tom. How are you doing?
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, we're 10 minutes in, man. You're the first one in. So Pay has gotten very good at fried chicken. Her boyfriend he said, well, you can't fry chicken. Like, she was going to make it for him, you know. And he said, well, you can't make it like Grandma does. And she said, bet. Her second try, she passed Grandma. So she's become quite the fried chicken. On her second try, trying to make it for him, he goes, okay, this one's better than Grandma's. So kudos to Pay.
So she gets the whole bird and drops in the legs and the wings and the thighs, or does she just do like chicken strips and stuff?
Strips, breasts,
loins.
Yeah, whatever he wants. Whether he wants strips or like if he wants breast meat or if he wants thighs, which he doesn't really care for the dark meat, which whatever. I think that's more flavorful.
I do too.
But they do a lot of tenderloins, like chicken loins and whatever. So
we don't do that at home. We do the whole bird and drop in the bone-in chicken.
Yeah. And she'll do that if that's what he wants. But let's see. Kay gets the. Kay gave the bear response, hold my beer. Yep, hold my beer. That's what she said. I got a little glare, so. Response, yep. That's what she did. She just said, oh, yeah, I can make it. I'm trying to find the glare. But anyway, it's going to happen. So she can hold her own. He says you can't do this like Grandma, and she says, "Oh yeah," and she makes it. She does the buttermilk brine for like 4 hours. She's really kicking it on her sourdough. She's really doing great with that. I have to tell you got to space it out because you make a loaf of sourdough. That's all I eat all day long. You walk by, you cut you a little slice, and you go on. You come back by, you get more coffee or whatever, you just get a slice. You even walking through the kitchen, you're stopping to get a slice.
Really?
Yeah.
See, bread doesn't do that to me. Oh. I could care less if I have bread. Like whenever I go to get chicken for the family, like you get an 8-piece and 4 biscuits or something like that.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, I tell them just keep the biscuits.
Oh man, I love biscuits.
I like them, but if I get a biscuit, it's going to be bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit for breakfast in the morning. Oh, no. I'm not eating bread with my meal. I just don't do that.
I love biscuits. I love sopping. Oh, we had cornbread yesterday, and before I went to bed, I ended up getting a little coffee cup and putting some cornbread in there with some milk, and that's what I had before.
Cornbread cereal.
Yep.
That's what Teresa's dad used to do. Oh, he always used buttermilk.
I absolutely like any kind of cinnamon rolls, anything like that. I'll do that with, and I have to watch because of the sugar content. Right.
But if I'm eating bread, garlic bread with spaghetti or lasagna, and just regular bread for a sandwich, and biscuits or muffins, something like that for breakfast.
I don't need muffins. I don't need anything else, but biscuits and cornbread are and the sourdough, whatever she does with sourdough. Jeez, but so speaking of yesterday, we did a little something. So we had a big low country boil, frogmore stew.
Biggest one we've ever done.
I'm trying to think. I think we've done some that big, but maybe not.
I don't think so. That was the biggest one that we done.
We had 10 pounds of shrimp. I had 4 bags of those little taters. I think they were 2 pounds each or a pound each.
Probably at least 2 pounds. They were much bigger than 1 pound bags.
So we had the little taters. I had 4 bags.
They were baby reds.
Yep. I had 4 bags of those.
Those get so soft and tender whenever they boil.
I had a pound of carrot, or maybe I had a big bag of carrots, mini carrots. and four
We had mushrooms.
Four mushrooms, like regular tubs, and then one great big one from Sam's.
Yeah, the button mushrooms, and then the portobello mushrooms.
Yep. 10 pounds of sausage, like four of it was andouille, 4 of it was smoked sausage, and then 2 pounds-ish, little over 2 pounds-ish was
Little
smokies. And then we had 14 pounds of shrimp. And I knew dumping that in, we were way over. I anticipate we had 21, well, I think I figured out, but we were supposed to have 21, and we ended up having, I think, 14 that ate, because there was a handful that didn't eat. So we had the 21, but a handful didn't eat. So yeah, it was quite the chore. So let's see what we can bring up here.
And that's okay, because I made up for what they didn't eat.
I tried. Well, that's the shrimp. So
yeah, everybody else came and sat down in the chairs. Lee and I stayed at the table, stuffing our face.
Yeah. So this is where we're dumping the shrimp. I don't have these in order. Okay, so this is our little prep table. There's our big bag of carrots. There's our mushrooms. We had 4 of these little blue tubs. And then this is a big one out of portobello's out of Sam's. I'd gotten them and didn't eat them through the week, so I just threw them on in. If you've not done mushrooms in a low country boil or a frogmore stew, whatever you call it, I highly recommend it. The mushrooms are phenomenal. So that was that. And then we had, this is it up rolling. So we have, I had 3 onions, 3 onions quartered. And then we had, I don't know how much garlic, about half a solo cup full of garlic. One of the tall cans of Old Bay. And I got the boil-in bag. Now, I don't know about y'all, but the boil bags, the Zatarans, I don't know if anybody's gotten them recently, but they used to be in a little mesh bag. Now they're in a plastic bag. And I opened it up and I was like, what in the world is this? Like, it's not a fabric-y mesh bag.
Right. So
I cut it open, dumped all the spices in. I said, it'll do the same thing. It's just we're going to have the spices everywhere. But then when I held the bag up to the sun, or so I could see through it, it had perforated holes. So I don't know if you're supposed to dump them in there.
I believe you're supposed to drop it in just like the mesh bag.
Yeah. So I didn't know, and I didn't take time to read. I was just going. And I should have videoed this yesterday. I had about 3 people ask me about it, and I completely forgot. Like, we were already involved when it went on. I had my tablet out here, and Rusty took pictures. That's the only way we got pictures, because we were just moving. Let's see, what's this? Oh, this is the tray of sausage that we had. That was, so I got this 4-pound bag of pack out of Sam's Club, I don't know, some time ago. I found them in the freezer. I forgot I had them. And they were just the long links. They were, I don't know, Southern Georgia brand or something like that. I don't know. But the wife cut them up, and then I had one of the Eckrich andouilles, and then I had 3 or 4 packs of they're like they're over by the hot dogs. They're up at the, like, kind of in the middle, up towards the top. And they were Cajun andouille sausages. I forget the name brand now. They might have been Eckrich, but they're right there by the hot dogs. They're just little links about like that. And we cut those up. And then the little smokies. The smokies are perfect in there. I mean, next to putting them in barbecue sauce and grape jelly, that is the best application for a little smoky I think I've found. Hey, we are family. What's going on? What's this? Microplastics in your country bowl. That's why I didn't do it. I wasn't sure, and I mean, I don't know.
It's no different than like we get success rice at home. The rice comes in that same kind of plastic bag. You just drop it, bring your water to a boil, drop it in for 10 minutes, pull it out, all the water drains out, and your rice is done. It's no different than that. So
I don't do that. If I do rice, I'm on the rare occasion that I make rice, I use the bag and just dump it in boiling water.
Yeah, we don't buy bagged rice. We buy the success rice because it's just so much easier, especially with everybody in my house cooking. They're not going to be measuring stuff like they're supposed to, and so it's so much easier to grab the bag and just drop it in the water.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the curry part there. Here we got the mushrooms. We put the sausage in. Let's see what's this one. This is a later pick. We'll come back to that. That's with all the sausage in it, and I was kind of lifting it up and down to kind of move everything around and make sure it was all. I mean, this was a big boil. What's going on, Terry? How are you doing? Terry says hi, Rusty.
Hey, bud. Yeah, I can't see the screen.
Yeah,
it's completely glared.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time seeing it too because of the glare, but we're trying. Here we go. That's a little bit better. Was about the previous pick. Okay. Yeah. So this, and then if you notice right here at the top going around, I have a wind guard. We did catch some breeze that was coming in, and I'd made that wind guard out of a sheet of tin, roofing tin. One of the guys, his granddad passed away years ago, and the barn fell down. And I got a couple pieces that they wanted me to make a table out of, but all the wood that I got had wormholes in it. So we got rid of that. And when we got rid of that, I kept the tin, and I've got a door actually that I'm going to use for something. But I took that tin and bent it so it would go around my big pot for a wind guard, and it worked out fantastic yesterday. Because where we had it, the wind comes in from the side of the house to the backyard, and it just worked great. So that's that. Let's see, what else is there? There's a picture of us putting the corn in. We had, what was it? That 2 bags of the was a 48. The big bags are like 48 corn nibblers. Put that in there, and man, the corn went. That's the best application for corn. But I did get an idea from one of the guys who was here about a Mexican street corn coleslaw.
We make that at home. We make Mexican corn and the elote, and we also make a slaw version of it. Tamara just loves slaw.
The elote in the slaw.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna have to do that. I thought maybe we had enough. If we have enough corn left, because we had almost, I don't know, half of this left. I'd say about a third.
Yeah, maybe a third. It wasn't a half.
It was. I mean, we could easily cut this back a lot, and we gave away bags. I mean, there was probably about 3 gallons that went out.
Because I brought 2 bags home.
Yeah, so there was a lot that people took home. Let's see, we did that one. I think this one, yep, we did that one. That was adding the sausage. Well, there we are. Let's see, what's this? This is with the shrimp in it. You can kind of see up here in the right-hand side what's up, Honey Badger?
How's it going, bud?
I got a glare, so I'm having trouble seeing. Terry asked how we are. We're doing pretty good. Feeling a little bit lazy today. The barn fell down later or fell down on Grandpa? It fell down actually right before Grandpa passed. So it was like an old barn on the property, and it had fell down, and then a couple years later Grandpa got sick and passed. So and they wanted this table as a memory, but then they got divorced, and it was a few years later before I reconnected with the guy, the husband, and it was his grandpa. And I've told him I've got some of this stuff from that old barn, and he doesn't act like he wants it. So I said, well, I'll just keep it then. Lost all your social media. Had to create new everything. Okay. I saw your post on Facebook, Terry. So if I get a suggestion or an invite, I'll accept it now. Because I get so many of those.
Oh, I do too.
Scammers or whatever. Badger. Yep. What's this? Yeah, we can turn anything into tater salad or coleslaw. Yep. So we had 14 pounds of these jumbo shrimps. That was a lot. I mean, it was a lot. That's the other picture corn. Get rid of that one. What's this one? Oh, this is where I'm adding one of the bags of shrimp. So the wife went to Walmart and bought these jumbos. But yeah, that was a good time. Look at that. Do another one this size, I'm gonna have to do some curls.
Dinner is ready.
Yeah, buddy. That was some good eating right there. That's the shrimp. So, what's this one? Yep, that's with the shrimp. So, we'll get rid of that one then. Remove. Oh, now the computer's locking up. Oh, there we go. So, that was our yesterday. So I'm kind of wore out today from doing it. From yesterday. Rusty just sent you a new friend request. Okay. Sent me one too. Okay. I dive into that, dude. I'm telling you, man, we had so much left over. I mean, I stood there and ate until I was full, and oh my goodness. I don't know how much is actually left now because the kids put it away, but we invited 30, 21 confirmed, and roughly 14 or 15 ate. So, and they ate their share. I mean that was great because everybody pitched in. That way it wasn't all on our tab. Everybody pitched in, and is the candle for insects or ambiance?
Insects.
So the bugs have been, because of last night, the bugs are out here all over the place. And, we're sitting here and you're getting bugs all over you. So I just lit it to try to see if it helps. Does it get better when, the boil? I don't know if it gets better, because when you reheat, if you reheat once or twice, then it's kind of like depends on how you reheat it, I guess. You reheat a whole bunch of it and then you don't eat it and you got to put it back in and then reheat it again. It's kind of not good. But like, we're going to make stuff out of it. Like the taters, we'll probably do like kind of a smashed tater, hash brownie type deal. The shrimp will probably do tacos, or I want to take the sausage and andouille and make it like a gravy. So I got some ideas of stuff I want to do with it. Shrimp and grits. Oh my goodness. If you take the shrimp and, you just make your grits and then drop the shrimp in, because they're already cooked, it'll help cool down the grits. And then you just get that little bit of the flavor from the Old Bay. And then I use my Bayou Barrel on top, and you get the little bit of citrus from the lemon that you put on top. Oh man, I'm getting hungry thinking about it. Did I invite Rusty?
I was here.
Yeah. Yep. He was here.
I was the first one here. Helping him get things set up and get things going.
Yep. Yep. I invited him.
And I was the last one to go, helping him break down and put up.
And I think you've been over just about every time I've done one. Just about. I mean, last weekend you were gone. You were camping. We did
you did the bucket,
the boil bucket. But when we do big ones and we invite people over, he's been here every time. Let's see.
We're not just friends on Sunday morning lives. We're friends during the week too.
Yeah. Cool. You know what I mean? A 3-day-old curry from the fridge is always better than fresh. Like it marinates in the hand. Yeah. So with the boil, because you strain out all the water and we discard the water, then it doesn't like soak in.
Right.
So you have whatever spices are on it as it kind of dries, and then when you reheat it, the moisture that's inside is what keeps it like re-marinates, I guess is the word, but yeah. Yep. I'm still going to call that bucket the hillbilly Thermomix. You know, so I've already done modifications to it. So I need to fire that up and at least see how those modifications work. But there'll be a video coming up on that. I actually got a video coming up. I think tomorrow's video is the initial unboxing and first boil with it. And then the following week, maybe it's Tuesday, I don't know, maybe it's next Monday, is the actual first cook where I did it on the live and then chopped it all up. But does the water get used for anything? I had saved it one time. I'd saved like a gallon of it and put it in the freezer and then never did anything with it. Like the moment had passed where I was like, oh, I'm going to save this. I'm going to, make rice or something or pasta or something with it. Because I think that'd be awesome to drop some pasta in, but I don't eat pasta.
Right, I think rice would be good.
So,
but have to take and pour the bucket over a cheesecloth or something to strain out all the stuff since you cut the bags open.
Yeah. This time, yeah. But you could use it, and then we talked about saving some of it to put in biscuits, because I've got the self-rising flour, and I would normally add milk or heavy whipping cream, but you could add half the heavy whipping cream and a ladle or so, or half a solo cup of the boil water to that to help get that flavor in there. That would be good. But when it comes time to dumping, I completely blanked out, so I didn't save it. In case you haven't noticed, there's a trend. My mind ain't working so good. But let's see. Boy, I'm having a hard time seeing. When we have a whole shrimp, my wife turns and discards the pile into bisque. Oh yeah. That would be freaking awesome to make like a seafood soup with that boiled water. You got me thinking now, man. I'm gonna start saving some gallon jugs and try to when I do the bucket, small batch. Yeah, save some of that. You got me thinking. Oh yeah, boiled rice in that would. Oh, it would be sweet.
I think rice would be really good in that.
That would be sweet. Nice. That's got me thinking, because I mean, if you did a shrimp Alfredo and boiled the shrimp in, or the
pasta in that
water. In that water. So we were going to talk about 4th of July is coming up. So, which anybody who's curious, we're not doing a show Wednesday because I'm going to be out of town. Unless Mike and Rusty do one. But, so 4th of July is coming up. It's what, Friday?
I got no idea.
I think it's Friday. So my family back home always gets together either on the 4th or like the weekend before or whatever weekend it falls on. And that's where they always fire up the gas grill so people can do burgers and dogs. That seems to be the typical thing. My grandpa used to always do chicken breasts. Like growing up, the adults got chicken breasts. We got hot dogs.
Right.
You know, so.
And my dad always did the chicken breast, and he always got a bottle of Italian dressing, and he marinated the chicken breast in Italian salad dressing, and then that's what he threw on the grill.
Yep, all the time. It's Thursday. No. Thursday, Friday. I think it is Friday because...
Yeah, it's Friday because tomorrow's the 30th.
Yep.
Because I've got a call that's due on the 1st on Tuesday, so...
Yep, so... but so my family always does that, and then my... so it used to be a couple of my uncles, and now it's fallen to my brother, my youngest guy cousin on that side. And they do fireworks. So there's been hint that there might be fireworks or there might not be this year. I don't know. But so as far as 4th of July cooks, what do you guys do?
We really don't do anything. I mean, since the kids are older now, whenever they were little, we did burgers and hot dogs. And we used to have a swimming pool, so we had a little pool party. Some family and friends come over, and then we throw off some. We go to the fireworks store, probably get $100, $150 worth of fireworks, and blow those off for the kids. But since the kids got older, and we don't have money to just set on fire anymore,
Yeah.
we really don't do anything. 4th of July is just another day for us. I mean, I'm out running, closing calls. It's a company holiday for us, but if I have calls that can be ran, I go ahead and I just go to work like normal. So, I mean, I understand the reason for the celebration, but that's just nowadays we just don't do anything.
Okay. We usually try to do like some sort of cook, whatever. I try to, fire up the grill or something. Some days I don't, but sometimes I don't. But we try to be outside. We try to do stuff. I don't really do fireworks. We've done bottle rockets and Roman candles and stuff. But,
right.
The fireworks get ridiculously expensive.
Very much.
Several years ago, before Tommy graduated high school, he actually worked at a fireworks store, Red Rocket Fireworks, for one 4th of July season, him and his best friend. And he got some freaking incredible discounts. And we had a huge firework show that year. But that was just because he worked there. And I bet you he got one massive box that's just like probably 3 foot square box that stood 3 foot tall. I mean, gigantic thing where you light one fuse and it shoots out 100 different things.
Oh yeah.
It was like a $500 kit. We got it for $20.
Eesh.
And so
Wow.
He picked up 2 of them. But that year we had an amazing firework display in the backyard. Next day for cleanup was a mess, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we did bottle rockets. The kids wanted to shoot some off, so we just got simple bottle rockets. And the one thing that really surprised me is, I mean, we would do bottle rockets. We'd hold them in our hand and shoot them at each other, But they make actual stands for bottle rockets.
They do.
And I was like, what? Are you serious?
And
We always used a beer can or a beer bottle.
We always launch them out of our hands.
Yeah, hold them in your hand.
Roman candles. We'd have Roman candle fights.
Yep.
They're shooting each other, trying to hit each other with the ball.
So my wife was like, well, we need to get this stand. I was like, no, you don't. I pulled out my chimney starter and set it down and flipped it over and set it down in the chimney starter. So the basket was what held it up
top.
and lit it. And they would run away. Like the kids would light it and then they'd run. and then they look over you. That was it. So Tom's thinking about doing a surf and turf. Yeah. Yep. Now, when you do surf and turf, is it always steaks and, you know, then a seafood, like a crustacean, like a shrimp or lobster?
You don't even have to be a crustacean. It can be just fish.
Well, I mean,
we do it with flounder.
So your surf and turf is flounder and
a lot of times just ribeye and flounder, because that's flounder is Teresa's favorite.
Okay. So I guess that would be the question would be, because we kind of did a surf and turf in our boil.
Yeah.
I mean, so is it just is when you say surf and turf, is it a given that it's a certain combination, like steak, lobster, shrimp, scallops, something like that? Or
for me, it's steak for the turf and fish for the surf.
So, but chicken could be turf, right?
It could be, but it never has been for us.
Yeah.
It's always been steak and fish.
Okay. So, I mean, I always relate it back to steak and seafood, but I guess the turf could be anything.
Anything that's on the ground.
Yeah. So, sorry. The Reds play at home. Oh, okay.
Reds.
Not sure. The Cincinnati Reds.
Okay.
Fireworks $20 or $500. Yeah, fireworks store's crazy. Going to the neighbors to get fireworks last year, we found the beaks hiding. Oh, dude. So we got the call yesterday that our little dog, we had her cremated, and she's ready to be picked up. The remains are ready to be picked up. So the wife's going to go down and do that, and she's going to talk to the vet about getting some sort of, medicine for our lab, because he's not going with us, and he'll go nuts, because I guarantee there'll be 3 houses down here that'll do fireworks, and probably one over here and probably one there, and he'll go crazy. So she's going to look and see if she can get some medicine. Live close to the golf course, and their fireworks don't even attempt to. Yeah, red, white, and boom, man. That's I've never been. My kids have been, but I've never been, and I have no desire to go to the fireworks.
Me either. We've got a red, white, and boom show here in Charlotte at the baseball stadium.
Yeah,
they do that every year. Yeah, and me being a veteran, a lot of times they ask for veterans to come out there. I mean, it's a free show to get in, and I'll be on the field, opening up the great big American flag they have that covers the whole field and all that stuff. But I have no desire to go.
So Tom said, for me, surf and turf is red meat and some kind of seafood. Could be burgers and shrimp. Okay. That's just one of those kind of odd questions, I guess, that just popped up and made me go, huh? Because we never really think about, I hear surf and turf and automatically you go to a steak and, shrimp's an easy one, or lobster.
Yeah, I've never gone to shrimp and lobster. I just gone to fish.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay. That's kind of cool. Our golf course on the mountain backs to the fairgrounds so you can watch the fireworks there. Yep. I got to go to bed. Have fun. All right, man. Have a good one. Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks for checking in on us.
Have a great 4th.
Well, here,
steak and shrimp on top is his.
Come See Me or City of Rock Hill does a fireworks show at the lake.
Yep.
They went to Lake.
Yep. And there's times where if I want to see them, I can look out my window because, like I said, the neighbors are going to shoot them off. I mean, the one year I sat in the driveway and watched 3 different ones, and then I went to the backyard and I could watch them through the trees.
But I'm going to be in bed before it's even dark, so I know I'm not going to see any.
Yeah.
Because I'm in bed between 8 and 8:30 every night. It don't get dark till like almost 10 o'clock now.
Let's see. Make surf and turf burger. Ooh, that sounds good. What do I like to go, of course. Yep. All right. Surf and turf burger. That could be.
Should have worn my hat today.
Yeah, I didn't plan on being this roasty toasty. So we got the tree line here, and when we started this, the sun was about 3/4 of the way up, and now the sun's up over the trees and it's just beating down. So, but I guess talking about the 4th, chicken breasts were always a delicacy. Do it on the gas grill. My grandpa would make his little sauce, which I never knew that he made the sauce. I always thought it was something my dad did, but turned out it was grandpa's sauce. And everybody would bring it was like a potluck. Right. Everybody would bring a covered dish, and you cook your own proteins, and then you'd have a plate, and you just go down the line.
Well, I think the main reason we didn't have no big family stuff is because I'm from St. Louis, and the only people that lived right here in South Carolina were me, my mom, my dad, and my brother. We're the only ones that moved away. Everybody else stayed up there. So we didn't have family gatherings and stuff. Yeah. I mean, Christmases was just us. All holidays, birthdays was just us. So
you couldn't imagine going to bed at 8 o'clock? Dude, it's kind of nice.
Yeah. I'm in bed at 8 o'clock.
All right. We'll catch you later, James. He has to go. He's got his live in a little bit. All right, buddy. But so I guess the common thing is burgers and dogs for the 4th of July, corn on the cob. Anything else?
No, we didn't even do the corn on the cob. It was just burgers and dogs.
Yeah.
When you keep mentioning gas grill, we did it on a charcoal grill. We had both, so I don't know what made my dad's determination to cook those or which grill to use, but yeah, I just remember we did both.
We always my grandparents built a pond in the back part of the property, and they put up a shelter house, and we would go back there and swim all the time, and we would that's where we would have our gatherings, and they put up a volleyball court. We used to have a basketball court, just a 3-point range in, one hoop, and little fire pit, tables outside. I mean, it's a nice little area. We've done videos back there. And the gas grill was always easy, so you didn't have to worry about having the charcoal, the ash, excuse me,
bless you.
And everybody knew how to use a gas grill. Once it's heated up, you just go. So that was why we always used gas, and it was just easy.
It might have been whether or not we had propane or not that made his decision.
Could be. Yep.
But I always remember his. He always put on those chicken breasts that were marinated in Italian dressing, and the bread he used was bunny barbecue rolls. It was always the bunny, and he would butter them and toasted them on the grill.
Really? I think the first time I toasted something on the grill, my dad looked at me like I was crazy.
Really?
Yeah. What are you doing? And I was like, toasting my bread.
Yeah, that's
like, it made sense to me, and he's like, no.
Yeah,
I mean, now he's come a long way, but he bought a gas grill, and I think he used it twice in 7 years and ended up throwing it out.
That's how my mom and dad toasted all of our bread on the grill.
In fact, my brother told me I could bring his gas grill home. He's like, you can have mine. He goes, next time you're up here, I'll give it to you. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to get this thing home. I don't have a way to get it home.
Yeah, I just rebuilt my gasser, put all brand new tubes, tents, 2 brand new igniters. I went through and I told my wife, I said, yeah, they said, well, this is kind of rusted out. It's time for me to get another grill. And that wasn't going. She said, no new grill. So I just went ahead.
They're so expensive now.
Oh, they are.
The gassers are, I mean, they're, the one I've got over here, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law bought us as a housewarming gift when we bought the house in 2010. Now, since then, you know, a lot of the thin metal on the inside's rusted away.
Exactly.
I've pulled the burners a couple times and cleaned them out, like with a little paper clip or drill bit, and went through each hole, got all the rust out of it. I've replaced the shields a couple times, and it still works. Just it's real wobbly now. Like the legs are I mean, the whole thing, the whole bottom part of it needs rebuilt. I just need to bite the bullet and get some of those. I'm thinking I want to do those metal studs that you get for your house.
Right.
You know, the metal, and trim it so I can bend it down.
Okay.
And make
your own brackets.
Make my own, basically make my own stand out of that. And those are about $8 or $8 a piece. So, you know, I'd say about 4 of them, and I would have a sturdy stand, I think, instead of trying to keep adding pieces to this one and it's still real wobbly. I mean, it sways a good 4 inches.
Right.
One way or the other. So,
you know, when she told me I couldn't get me a new grill, I just went to the back of it, took a picture of the serial number placard and model number, blew it up, went to Amazon and typed it in, and sure enough, there's a complete rebuild kit on Amazon for $35.
Oh, wow.
And so I just rebuilt the whole entire inside of my grill.
I wonder if I can get parts for an old Kenmore, because that's what that is. They went to Sears and bought it at Sears. And it was like $500. And the lid's still in great shape. The grates are still in great shape. You know, it may need a new regulator, but, I mean, it's still in good shape. The top part of it, the main part, is still in great shape, but it's just the wobbliness is why we don't use it. But, so what sides do you do for 4th of July? Well, I mean, what did you used to do?
Potato salad. I can remember at home whenever I was little, Mom and Dad would do corn on the cob. They would soak it in water in the husk, and then after they soaked it, then they would put it on the grill and let it steam, let it cook it with the steam. But mainly it was potato salad. That was really big with them. My dad liked regular potato salad. My mama was crazy about German potato salad. So we usually got 2 different types of potato salad.
And macaroni salad's the same way. I can never remember, do I like which style I like? Do I like the German tater salad? Do I like the what do they call it, the American? And then there's another one. And I can never remember which one I like. And macaroni salad's the same way.
Yeah, we never had macaroni salad. And to this day, I don't eat macaroni salad. Not because I don't like it, because I'm not familiar with it, because that's something that we never ate.
Yeah.
And if I know that I like potato salad, I'm not going to make macaroni salad and hope that I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, and everybody in the family likes potato salad, so that's what we always make.
I'm going to have to make some, I haven't made tater salad in a long time. And the last time I did, I used the red skin taters.
That's what we always use.
Yeah, and I left the skin on.
That's what we've always
done. And then did like a, it was like a ranch bacon kind of thing, like a loaded baked tater inside of a tater salad. That was really good. But growing up, we always had coleslaw. You went to Lee's Chicken or KFC, and somebody would buy the big tub of coleslaw, because that was like the best coleslaw.
Growing up, none of us would eat coleslaw. My mama would eat it, but that was it. My dad, me, and my brother wouldn't touch it.
Oh, I could eat it.
So that was never an option. I didn't start eating coleslaw until probably the last year or so. And even then, the only reason I eat it is just to taste it whenever I'm making it for one of my big orders, just to see if it needs anything.
Yeah. So I've got a copycat recipe of a KFC style that I make, and the kids love it. I like it. I don't eat it much because of the sugar,
You put sugar in coleslaw?
Oh yeah.
I've never put sugar in coleslaw.
That's why I don't get repeat orders.
I'm kidding. Those freaking
I'm teasing.
full-size aluminum pans full.
But I tried using coconut sugar in it one time, and because the coconut sugar is already brown, it turned the coleslaw brown.
Oh, really?
So it looked terrible. It looked terrible. Tasted good, but it looked terrible. Tater salad, coleslaw, corn on the cob. What else? What sizes would you make for the kids?
The same.
What about desserts?
Banana pudding and strawberry shortcake.
Strawberry shortcake. Okay.
And it wasn't really a strawberry shortcake. It was those round cake, the cake forms that you get at the
the sponge thing.
Sponge thing, right? You know, the pack that has 6 of those in it. And Mama would get the strawberries, dice them up, put in her sugar. She had her big potato masher, and she would mash all those up. And you'd have the round sponge cake things, a scoop of strawberry, then whipped cream, then another one, and strawberries and whipped cream, and that was it.
So, growing up, we had Bisquick.
Yep.
So we would make the Bisquick shortcakes. So they were like in a 8x8 pan.
Okay.
And you would cut out your square, set that in your bowl, take fresh strawberries. Sometimes we would put the sugar on them and let them, what do they call that? Pull out the juices.
Right.
Massacre them or whatever they call that. And then spoon that on top of your Bisquick cake. That was our shortcake. And then we pour milk on it or not, depending.
Pour milk on it?
Oh, my goodness.
Another bowl of cereal.
It wasn't cereal because it was a dessert. You could put ice cream on it too, but that was. Ooh, my wife comes and she says, "What's that?" It's like it's just strawberry shortcake. No, it ain't. Like she argued with me because she always had those preformed things, and I was like, so she got those, and I was like, "What's that?" Well, these are the shortcakes. No, they're not. This Bisquick's what we make shortcake with. No. We went back and forth. And, I mean, those things taste like sponges to me. So
I think they taste fine.
I'm like, nope. But, my one aunt would always make some sort of fruit salad. That was always on table. Brownies, cookies. Have you done the American flag cake with all the strawberries and the
too much work for something that's just going to get destroyed and eaten. I won't do it. I got no desire to fancy up or decorate it. I'm not going to a show. I'm not presenting it to a judge. I'm not going to go through that.
Good point. What about like a 7-layer salad? You ever make one of those?
No, whenever I make a salad, I just throw it in the bowl, put in my bacon bits and croutons, pour on my dressing, and eat it.
Well, there's a thing. You make it. It's about yay big, and you put just layers of stuff on it. You know, used to love one of those. I haven't had one.
How do you layer the salad? I mean, you just put lettuce, then you put a layer of cheese, then sliced cucumbers, and then
you just put it all on layers.
So instead of mixing it all together, you just an individual layer with all of that.
Right.
Then you use like tongs or something to scoop that into your bowl and pour on your dressing.
It's kind of wet because you don't use regular dressing. You make a dressing, and it goes over top, and it kind of soaks down in, and then you just scoop it out with like a big serving spoon.
Well, like the Olive Garden, they come out to your table with a great big old bowl, and it's always they put the dressing on top, and it's always saturated at the bottom.
Yeah, no, not like that. It's what the Waldorf salad is?
Waldorf salad, no.
You know where we'll go through it later.
Yeah, I can look at that.
Yeah. But it's all the layers, and then you just kind of scoop out.
Okay.
And my brother used to make this vegetable pizza. He hasn't made it in a long time. I wanted to get on him. But it was croissant rolls, and you'd lay them out on a cookie sheet. He would mix some sort of dressing. It wasn't a dressing. It was not a sauce, but it was like a cream cheese, sour cream, ranch, and something else, and smear that on top like a spread.
Right.
That's the word I was looking for. Like a spread. So you bake the croissant rolls, like laid out flat. You pull it off, let it cool down to room temperature. You put down your spread, and then you would add like chopped up broccoli, cauliflower, carrots all over it, sometimes onions, depending, and then sprinkle cheese over top. And that was it.
Okay.
We could eat like the whole pan. Him and I would eat the whole pan. Yeah. It's somewhat healthy, but, Keto Mike, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Mike. How's it going, bud?
You catching us just at the end, man. Fixing to head inside here in a minute.
Yeah, we got to go get some air.
Yeah, we're sitting in the sun. I should have cleaned this out better. But, hey, whatever. So, let's see, and of course, drinks, usually everybody drinks beer. I'm a Coke guy myself, Coke Zero, water.
Yeah,
anymore.
We never had no beer at the cookouts and stuff.
That used to be like we would always get together, and you'd have like the older people would be over here congregating and whatever, and mingling. Then we'd have the next generation over here with all the beers and the coolers and all that stuff, and then the younger kids was running around. So it was kind of generational, and then now it's all kind of co-mingled. I mean, we're getting older. It's hard to think that I'm like my dad's age. Like my dad was this age once, and I'm like, holy crap, I'm 47. I'm like, holy crap. I didn't think I wasn't supposed to make it to 18. But, well, I'm going to get off here. We've been on about an hour. We kind of covered some things. Yapped a lot. I will end with this, though. Oops. Nope. I guess I'm not. I stopped it. Okay. Well, anyway, let's get out of here. Y'all have a great week. Enjoy your 4th. Be safe. I'd say wear gloves when you're shooting fireworks off, but I don't reckon that'll help if it blows up in your hand. You'll just keep the fingers intact.
Yeah.
Well, in a certain area.
Besides, you got no dexterity in gloves.
Yeah.
So you don't need them.
Let's see. My dad didn't get to the live this morning. Oh, okay. That's all right. It happens.
You can get us on the repeat.
Yep. We're fixing to get off here. We're starting to sweat pretty bad.
Yeah.
But so we'll catch you guys all later. Have a great 4th of July, and we'll catch you guys somewhere next month.
It will be.
I don't know about next Sunday. We'll see what happens. So keep an eye out on the community tab. And
just look for that notification.
Yep. We'll see you guys all next week.
See y'all later.
Next week or 2 weeks. Rock on. Boom.